In a small, peaceful town, the sun shone brightly overhead as little Ali played joyfully in the park. His laughter echoed through the air as he stacked colorful blocks to build what he called the tallest tower in the world. His parents, sitting on a nearby bench, smiled warmly, watching over him with love and pride. "I'm going to make the tallest tower ever," Ali declared, his tiny hands working quickly. But as fate would have it, a vibrant butterfly fluttered by, catching Ali's eye. Its wings shimmered in the sunlight, drawing him away from his task. "Wow, a butterfly," he exclaimed, dropping his blocks and chasing after it with gleeful determination. The butterfly danced through the air, leading Ali farther and farther away from the park. Before he realized it, the playground disappeared from view, replaced by the looming trees of a dense forest. The light from the sun dimmed, and shadows stretched across the ground. Ali stopped in his tracks. His heart pounded as he looked around, realizing he was no longer in the familiar park. "Where am I?" Ali called out, his voice trembling. "Mommy? Daddy?" The only response was the soft rustle of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. The towering trees seemed to close in around him, their branches swaying like long, grasping fingers. He clutched his arms around himself, trying to stay brave. "It's just an owl. Nothing to be scared of, right?" he whispered, though his legs felt wobbly beneath him. As he wandered deeper into the forest, Ali came across a small, crooked cottage. Sitting outside was an old lady, her hair as white as snow, draped in a tattered green cloak. Her appearance was strange, but there was a kindness in her eyes that put Ali at ease. "Are you lost, young one?" she asked in a gentle voice. Yes," Ali stammered. "Can you help me?" The old lady smiled, her face crinkling with warmth. "I can show you the way back, but you must be brave. Look up at the sky and follow its light. It will guide you home." Ali nodded, feeling a surge of hope. "Okay, I'll try." As he thanked her and set off, he noticed the sky peeking through the gaps in the trees. The sunlight was still there, even in the deep forest. Ali took a deep breath and followed it, just as the old lady had told him. Not long after, he heard a soft voice behind him. "Follow me, I know a secret path." Ali turned to see a little rabbit hopping toward him. Its fur was white and fluffy, and its eyes twinkled with mischief. "A rabbit?" Ali blinked in surprise. "You can talk?" The rabbit grinned. "Only in this part of the forest. Come on, I'll show you a shortcut." Trusting the rabbit, Ali followed it through a hidden trail that weaved between the trees. The path was narrow and winding, but the rabbit moved swiftly, always encouraging him to keep up. As they ventured deeper, the trees began to thin, and a faint glow appeared in the distance. But before they could reach the end of the path, the rabbit paused and looked back at Ali with a gentle smile. "Don't worry, Ali. We'll see each other again soon," the rabbit said. "Love, Mom and Dad." Ali's heart leaped with joy. He could feel his parents' love surrounding him, even though he couldn't see them yet. "I'm going to find them!" Ali exclaimed. "I just have to keep going." But the journey wasn't easy. Ali grew tired as the sun dipped lower in the sky. His legs ached and his feet dragged along the ground. For a moment, he thought about sitting down and resting. Just then, he remembered the words of the old lady. "You must be brave." And the rabbit's encouragement echoed in his mind. "Follow me. I know a secret path." Ali clenched his fists and stood tall. "Never give up. Always keep going," he whispered to himself. The glow ahead grew brighter. Ali's heart raced as he broke into a run, the trees parting to reveal the edge of the forest. "Mom! Dad, I'm here!" he shouted with all his might. And there, just beyond the trees, stood his parents, their faces lit with relief. "We were so worried," his mother cried, scooping him up in her arms. "You're safe now." His father knelt beside them, placing a hand on Ali's shoulder. "You're a brave boy, Ali. You never gave up." Ali smiled, his eyes filled with pride. "I'll never forget today. Sometimes you have to face your fears to grow stronger." As they walked back home, the forest behind them seemed less frightening now. It was no longer a place of darkness and fear, but a place of adventure and growth. Ali knew he had found something important there: his courage.